explaining to do, or
A
like
lot of
a lot of
explaining to
emotions.
do. OMG. Georg Meier wins in Armageddon fashion to move on and to grab a spot in the bracket you see right here. Will he play Magnus Carlsen? Will he play Hikaru Nakamura? It feels like if Chess Karma is even, he will play Hikaru Nakamura and somehow win that match. I don't even know. Like, I feel like I would put Naka as a huge favorite. Obviously, Hikaru is a favorite against pretty much anybody in this event who's not named Magnus Carlsen, to be totally honest. But that was completely nuts. Meyer and the man who you already know, Sergei Grigorians, has already taken a spot. We now have Georg Meier joining the fold. You will see their faces added to this bracket come game time when the event actually starts in May 3rd. But with us now is going to be Grandmaster Georg Meier. He and I are chatting real quick. Sorry about that.
And Danny, I did predict that he was one of my top 3 to win the event, so I did have my prediction come through.
You picked Meyer as and Keckham, Keckham didn't have his best game against Meyer, which was a little weird, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
And for him to be in the position that he was in, and then even the last blunder, it really doesn't matter now. I mean, obviously, he's losing even if he takes with the rook, given the match circumstances as well. But this is certainly an uncharacteristic blunder. I have never been a part of an event that was stranger or had more going on, like, that makes me think about things that are crazy than this event. I don't even know what to say. Meyer says he doesn't even know if he wants to come on. He doesn't even, this whole thing, he can't even, he's got to gather his emotions.
And of course, there's another one of these shindigs next week.
Yeah, tell me about it. We have another event going down on, we have another event going down next week, April 18th.
Georg Meier was not having any of that Nakamura charity. He stepped in big time.
Yeah, he stepped in. Well, he got lucky, honestly. He got lucky that Andrejkin blundered. Okay, he says he's gonna join. He just needed a quick emotional break. Let me add him to the call.
Sure.
Let me see if we can get this guy on here and see if we certainly, okay, now we have him. Hold on a second. Let me get the show ready because things have been weird. They've honestly never been weirder.
Yeah, I see myself, but where are the other beautiful people?
I'm trying to add you right now, buddy. Hold on. There you are. The legend himself, Grandmaster Georg Meier. If you weren't a legend before this event, you certainly are now, right?
Yeah, I generally don't get too lucky in chess. If I make a draw from a lost position, I already count my lucky stars and tell everyone about it. But this tournament was unreal. I did play well some games, but I'm in round 10. I just got extremely lucky.
Yeah, well, let's start right there. Describe the emotional roller coaster you must have been on. Clearly, you're playing on what is a lost position against Dmitry Andrejkin, right? It's obviously frustrating. You certainly know that the other, participant moved on via the most, ridiculous, insert explicitive circumstances, right? Getting a resignation on move 1 from Hikaru Nakamura. But then you keep playing, and Andrejkin blunders. What was going on with you at that time? Can you reenact it for us?
Yeah, I mean, I was just trying to set up, some trick, and then suddenly he let me penetrate with the queen, which was a huge surprise. And then I started to get so happy that I had bishop h3, and I'm like, oh damn, he has king h2 and queen f1, right. Queen takes d5, and I'm still dead lost.
Right.
And then he goes king h3. I'm like, what did I miss? Check, check. I'm looking at the board. So is it mate? I couldn't believe it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, sorry, I'm trying to pull up that game for those who may have missed it. So that means you're moving on. So let's talk about the Speed Chess Championship. Obviously, it's a coveted qualification spot. There are 4 options of guys that you would play. Who do you think you might match up best against, or might have the best chance? Obviously, every one of those guys is a monster. But who would you take if you had a choice?
Given the format with the bullet section at the end, okay, no one can say that he has good chances against Magnus or Hikaru. But if I get anyone else, then I think I do have a decent chance.
Okay. So MVL or Sergey, you feel like if you had to choose between those two, which one would you feel like you match up better? You'd pick Sergey. Stylistically, you feel like you would have a better chance against Sergey Karyakin?
I think I have a chance against both of them, but Sergey he tends to be a little bit passive, so we can play without disturbing each other too much.
Amon, you ask a question because I'm freaking out over here.
Well, I was just so amazed that after the queen came into c1, bishop h3 is such a good move that actually after king h2, I was even thinking queen f1, queen takes d5. Do you even have g4 and queen takes f2 and queen g2 are in the air? It's almost good enough for just a draw there, which is kind of miraculous.
Yeah, you got a point there. g4 is an amazing resource.
After king h2, you're saying g4 would have been possible.
Yeah, and I think the queen f2 threat and queen g2 is, it can't be covered by white. So it was like more than an impressive save, because it wasn't just kind of a bishop h3 suicide hoping for king takes, but I think it was even good enough for a draw based on g4.
Yeah, that's true. That's a great point. Obviously, white has queen f5 check and can choose his way of perpetual, but yeah, it looks like the double threats of queen g2 and queen takes f2 check would force Andreykin to do that, which if all had gone right in Hikaru Nakamura's world, meaning he actually had offered a draw instead of instead of resigning, as he actually did, maybe that would have been good enough to get an Armageddon anyway. So maybe chess karma has worked out that it's not the most ridiculous thing that we're here. Is anybody going to buy that if I say that?
No.
No one's going to buy that. Oh, man. Well, whether you believe in karma or not, you are moving on. You came close last year to grab that qualification spot. So pretty cool to see you join the field, Georg. Certainly, what is going to be your goal over the next couple of weeks? Now that you know you're playing, you got to get your rating as high as possible to avoid playing Hikaru or Magnus, right?
Yeah, the problem is that I'm committed to the silly tournament that takes place from next week in Karlsruhe and Baden-Baden, where people like Magnus Carlsen, Levon Aronian, Vashila Graf, and some others are playing.
Yeah, so let's just say you got your hands full, right? You're going to be busy.
Yeah.
But you will have time to play on Chess.com. And you just go pull an all-nighter than last night and just break 2,900 and you're set, right?
You take the Chess.com rating.
Yeah, it's Chess.com.
Okay, you got me sold.
It's Chess.com Blitz rating that decides this.
At the end of the month, yeah?
At the end of the month, as of May 1st at midnight Pacific time, 12 a.m.
Okay, so you know what I'm going to do.
I know what you're going to do. People can look for Georg Meier playing a lot of chess on Chess.com over the next couple of weeks. Well, if you were watching the show live, which I pray for you that you were not, it was crazy over here. Everybody was as shocked as you were. Amon he almost shaved his beard. It was crazy. So congratulations, regardless of the circumstances surrounding it. You are certainly a deserving qualifier. Obviously, Kekam, international master, who we had no idea who you were. We know you're a strong player now. Congratulations on your event. I guess I can't pretend that we don't feel like this is slightly the right result given the way that he was able to reach 8.5 points. But okay, we won't harp on that anymore. Georg, do you want to say anything else? Just because we have you.
No, actually, I'm just lately I'm not thinking so much about chess because I have my hands full with my master's thesis, and somehow this helps me a lot. Yeah, I'm not worrying, I just play. It's quite funny.
So you feel like you're playing better with your master's thesis on your plate.
Yeah, lately in the German league I made like 100% and out of nowhere.
Were you
So,
listening to music during the tournament?
yeah, actually I do.
What?
You want to know what I'm listening
Please don't
to?
say Daft Punk.
No, it's what's their name? One Step from Hell. It's like a production company. They make a lot of film music and other things.
Okay.
Like, I just listen to kind of a random playlist of their stuff.
Cool. All right, there you go. I'll check it out. Amon, Georg, anything else?
Just recovering over here, Danny. That was probably the wildest Title Tuesday that I have ever seen. Like you said, maybe the karma is somehow balanced at the end of it, but it's definitely a strong performance from everybody involved, and to Georg Meier, obviously, congratulations, and we'll see more of him in the Speed Chess Championships.
Yep. Georg, congratulations, buddy. Get some rest, and
Thank you.
we will see you later.
Goodbye.